Audio check, ladies and germs.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. Ladies and gentlemen,
Audio check,
Pass you a flask full of Jack Love. At last I'm at peace with this vast blood. Only took a crash landing down in the trash mud to figure out why I've been so smashed up. Holy moly, lonely only when I'm coldly zoning, cozy in my holy home.
Good morning, everybody. Hold on while Pedro and I get this show started.
Going through my dome, hoping that I'm only throwing stones to get you going. Maybe you could clone me, break the ache and make me hate the way forsaken snakes take their stake in what I make and break it.
Intro song today, All Gassed Up by Tree City West. It's Friday. Let's get this show started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great award-winning show called DYOR Live. It is August 1st, as they say, rabbit. Good luck to say the word rabbit on the first day of the month. I don't know where that comes from, but anyway, interesting day, interesting week. It's Friday, it's the end of the week, it's the start of a new month. Interesting time for the charts, interesting time for the numbers coming out. The jobs report came out today. It sucks. They revised the old reports. They suck. Is the Trump administration making the same mistakes as the Biden administration? We'll talk all about that in the markets here with my co-host Pedro Garcia in the house. Pedro, what's happening today?
What is up, my peoples? Yeah, let's get this baby going. Peace and love, baby. That's all for you. Or I guess that's more the devil sign. Peace. I wish we could make like that sign that where we could be like this, right? Where we have the I love you sign and then the peace sign that comes right here. That'd be cool.
That looks too much like Latin Kings here in Chicago. Next thing you know,
right?
Pow, 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 pow.
A little pow pow. Love you and peace to all. All right. You're right. That's the old gangster signs coming out. Anyhow.
Markets dropped here. Numbers suck. In fact, they took a little bit. They didn't start out dropping so quickly. And then I guess they must have released the revised numbers, and then all hell broke loose.
We've been talking about all month about how these are falsified numbers. Not falsified. That's the wrong one.
Just incorrect.
Just incorrect. But you could have seen it very, very clear by simply just tapping into the actual report and realizing you had more teacher jobs that were actually increasing. We've had more municipality jobs basically picking up. A lot of the government jobs are being let go. So a lot of those numbers were just simply in face value, not actually in substance value. So we knew that this was actually going to happen. When they revised everything, it also messed certain things up because we're also watching now private sector engineering jobs, manufacturing jobs drop, and in that sense it's actually throwing off the whole entire system they're trying to build. And here's the thing, at least I got to give it up to the Trump administration. They're being fairly honest. Actually, that's not the right word. They're trying to be like covert honest without destroying the economy so that Trump can sit there and say, look, I'm the bomb diggity, no doubt, shout out. But what's even more interesting is that Mr. Chairman,
shout out, no doubt.
Are you writing that down? There you go. That is an actual, yeah, that's another t-shirt, shout out, no doubt. But like on the back end, we're watching a couple things that are actually happening here. Fat Powell is definitely looking. Can you turn off the music in my ear? You don't mind?
Sorry.
It's really loud in me. Sorry.
I forgot it was still going out that way.
What we're watching, what's really interesting is that Powell is actually starting to look like he's lying. And for whatever reason, he's trying to keep the interest rates up. And I think the primary reason why is that the Fed itself, right, is majorly in debt. They're actually, it's funny, the debt itself, right? They're going out and they're giving a lot of money to interest rates. And so they're actually trying to take off the debt on their system and trying to bring in money. We're actually watching local banks who support a lot of the Fed issues and certain aspects behind that.
He mentioned reducing the balance sheet in his speech.
Yes. And they've been there for a while, for almost a year now, since Biden's administration. And like we've known this, like that they've actually been negative. And so the reason why I think he's actually I gotta stop using the word actually. I think what's interesting is that he is still trying to fill his own pockets. And the reason why he's not dropping interest rates is because he gets to charge the American people, not the government, but us, because our taxes are the thing that pays that, or at least tries to pay it. It is from that avenue that he can actually hold up like a stick up without like a gun with, what's the old thing when they used to stick like a gun in their shirt or whatever and be like, give me your money, right? It's almost like hidden. I almost feel like that's actually what's happening here with Powell, with Trump in this whole entire fight, because they're trying to pay down their balance sheet. They're trying to bring in money so the gangsters, that they're trying to set up certain systems, or that the systems that they can keep moving. Now, we've talked about XRP, talked about decentralization, and how these things are actually opposed to each other. And if we can, and this is why I try vehemently to try to educate people on this movement of XRP being like, oh wow, yes, XRP Nation, yes, you're just proliferating the current system just in a different form. It's almost like it's like they're gonna change their clothes, and I don't know how to explain. Have you ever seen it's the same type of parasite. It's the same type of parasite that is being affected in traditional finance, that is also going into CeFi. And so these are these certain aspects that we've been talking about. A lot of these things we've mentioned. Mold. I mean, I almost became a broken record with Trump last month and even 2 months ago, saying, dude, like, this is frustrating because I'm watching all this stuff and it's not real. And they're basically trying to play the American people as well as the crypto community to say, hey, look, Trump is 100% for us. But when we look at the literature or the legislation itself that's being created, it's leaning towards and trying to boost up XRP. And again, even if you have XRP, the reality is you're just going right back into you're just doing one big giant circle just with some new loops in it in
right.
all reality. And so it's sad for me to sit there and see what's happening here, but most people like to be service.
Everybody, if you recall last year, Pedro and I, in fact 2 years ago, Pedro and I were talking about the jobs reports coming out and how they were inaccurate, and we felt the Biden administration was. Pedro researched this endlessly and just kept saying, "Look, it's not right. It's not right. It's not right." And he said, because I'm not smarter than these people, but look at the bond yields and look at these yields and look at this and look at this. He said it doesn't match up, and sure enough, the Biden administration came out like right at their last report and said, "Oh, we're revising all of these numbers. We're doing it incorrectly," and it was a tremendous revision down, tremendous. And then the Trump administration came in and said, "Yeah, they were doing all that shit wrong. We're not going to let that happen anymore." And they're doing the same thing. However, I did note in that podcast you sent me, Pedro, and listening to the various people give speeches this past week, there is confusion within the government on the numbers that they report. One report says it's fine. Another, I don't mean the same report, different months. I mean different arms of the U.S. government. And in the Bureau of Labor Statistics is continuously wrong. And it's not even arguably a political position. And it's not like Trump came in and replaced everybody there. They just can't get it right anymore. And it's affected the Biden administration, made him look like an idiot. And now it's making the current president look foolish. And it's making Jerome Powell look foolish too. Even though the reports that they were talking to, there's been a number of people from the Fed and from Bloomberg and all these other places that said supply is matching demand. But demand is dropping, supply is dropping, so it's still in balance. All is fine. But then the numbers get revised today. We're like, well, maybe none of that is true. The revisions, maybe demand is dropping faster than supply. It's just mind-numbing that we can't figure out at a moment's notice how many people are employed. Just stop trying to forget, like, oh, we got to include people that don't identify as this and that, just how many people are submitting payroll taxes? I bet somebody can press a button and it says bang, and you can see it live in a meter.
No,
just go by that. I know. Why can't they? Why can't they? I know how many people work for my company. There's a little meter. It says.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, I keep going back to this page here, right? Like, this is one of the primary page. I know our viewers probably get irritated at me when I talk about this, but the most important, the real things that we want to pay attention to is private sector jobs. Within those private sector jobs, manufacturing and real jobs, not service jobs, being created, because there are only two real jobs. There's mining, and then there's everything else. Okay. And so when we look at private sector jobs, we want to calculate it in a correct way, right? Also, when you consider a government paying job, something that actually adds to the GDP, and this is what Elon talked. We talked about this ad nauseum a lot, but when Elon said it, I said, yes, yes, he's saying the correct words here. He was realizing that we actually have government jobs that we actually calculate. And I even talked about this because I was yelling at my trading coach, who I absolutely respect 100%. Okay. But I said, you cannot calculate a government job as an actual GDP. That's like calculating a freaking parasite that's inside of you that contributes to your body, because it's inside your body.
You're more healthy. You got lots of parasites. Well, no. Right.
So it's the same idea. So when you look at this, and then we look at the actual manufacturing jobs here, now this is, you look at these two, which is, okay, cool. So these are things you need to pay attention to. And then the other thing you want to pay attention to is government employees. This one right here. And we want to see this one go negative. We want to see this one go positive. And we want to see this one overall that's equal. We want to see it go higher. We want to see this go higher constantly in a way that is not too much, because you do need some type of employment, because when you have full, complete employment and there's nobody who's not working, then you have wage growth that is unsustainable.
Right.
So there is this form.
That's inflationary.
It can be very inflationary. And it can be actually a good inflationary situation, but it depends on if you're having real production and real goods and services, not just like inflationary, meaning like, okay, I buy this and everybody's working, and then all of a sudden what happens is then now you have more money to spend, and when the people go out and spend that, then more people need to get hired, but there's not enough people, so then you have to pay the person who you're hiring more money, because you're trying to draw more people in new to work for you. That's the cycle that we're talking about. But if you have real GDP and real innovation in relationship to real growth, that's the most important thing. And this is why I keep talking about is Trump needs to make sure that we have real innovation. One being, we need to create robotics here in America. We need our tech industry to really kick off and do really well. Two, we need to make sure that our energy sources here is actually pushed and created here, not that we're pulling it from other places. And if we can export more energy and still have more than enough here, that's a good situation. That's what he was kind of trying to do, but it kind of got thrown off. Hence, also when it came down to the Doge situation, right? The Doge clock, great. It's sitting almost at $1 trillion annually saved. The problem is how real is it? How real is this actually real saving? So I've almost just discounted it completely now, because it's just, we don't know. Like, we really don't know, really. Nice thing about it is government jobs are dropping in a sense, but they still got 6 months that we're paying them, right? Those guys are still on a lot of, so it's kind of crazy when we watch this. They're starting to come off. We're starting to watch them come off, and we're starting to see government jobs drop, but that's what we have to see. Now, we keep also talking about the wicks, right? Like, you're like, enough with the wicks. Well, the wicks tell the story. And so when you look at bonds, and bonds going up, right? The 30-year bond, when they came out with the revision number, bro, skyrocketed. I was like, let's go. Today, I was like, that was.
Are you talking about yields or pricing?
I'm talking about bond pricing, not bond yields. So this is the 30
right label up here.
It's going to be ZB. Excuse me, the 20-year. And it's just real simple. I'm not going to stay here long, so you don't even have to do it. I'm just simply going to say, we've talked about here that monthly, that weekly, right? When you look at the weekly area here, or excuse me, the monthly, I've been talking now for months that we see a lot more demand wicks on the month that they're putting their position than actually seller wicks. And we see much bigger demand wicks, meaning they're buying. They let it sell off and then they buy. They let it sell off and then they buy. They let it sell off and then they buy. And so that's a good indication that, hey, I'm building a position for this to go up. And sure enough, that's what we saw. Now, the other part that's cool is this. This is the first day of the month. And so I'm a little nervous about this because I always say I want to see something go down first at the beginning of the month so I can see it go up at the end, at the beginning of, or excuse me, at the end of the month. But I might retract that, at least when it comes to the bonds, because this is more of a fundamental situation that is happening here. We know because the latest real financial news or financial reports on the economy, it's very clear that it's like that we're in trouble, like we're legitimately in trouble. And we know that the Fed is going to now have to, I wouldn't be shocked if this month we start to see really bad numbers come out and all of a sudden we have an emergency meeting by the Fed and they drop rates. But by that time, it's already too late because we have a bull steepening. And the bull steepening is real simple, that we're seeing front yields, these are interest rates, go up at a dramatic rate, or excuse me, go down at a dramatic rate. And we're seeing long-term yields, and these are not bonds, these are yields, staying steady because people actually want to buy long-term yields here in America because America is actually trying to do something now. They're not on the crazy train that was happening with the previous administration. So, but it's still not. Oh, Ozzy Osbourne, yeah.
I said Rip Ozzy. You said the crazy train, so I was like Rip Ozzy.
Oh, Rip Ozzy. I got you. Okay. Yeah. So on the back end, jobs report. Who was that? Crypto unicorn. What did he say there?
The market should just ignore it. And you're right. It should. All these red folder things, they're all bullshit.
No. Disagree. I completely disagree with you because these are fundamental, real numbers. Look, there are
fake.
No, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about my numbers, not those numbers. I'm talking about and those real numbers are now starting to come out. They're actually starting to report them in a real way. We need to report real numbers so we can actually have a real diagnosis of the sickness that we're having right now here in America, and then we can treat it appropriately. The biggest issue right now is that we're not treating the real illness. And so this is why, like, I keep bringing up that there's this back and forth, and and we're having this back and forth with fake arguments versus the real arguments and the real numbers that are actually happening. And so these are just really interesting times that we live in. Like, I think in 20, 30 years, 40 years, they will look back and go, dude, that stuff was crazy. like when we look back,
what up with that shit?
Yeah, like for real, right? So it's just really interesting. Now let's jump back here real quick because you can watch here that on a fundamental level, we talked about this trade for a while, right? We talked about in the first part of 2025 in January, that expected us to go all the way up to that 29 area. We talked about as January 20th with Trump, right? That I said expect, and that was this period right here, right? That we were sitting right here. It's expected to pull back and to get up into this level here, which is that 21 or that 2021 area on the bonds. Now we saw the sell-off because of some of the situations that were happening with the tariffs, but that was actually more of a fake out. So we saw the pullback come down into our level here. But I think we're very much going to get up to the 29, 28 level next. Like, I think we're very much going to get up to this level because of the real numbers are coming out. We're going to see some situations happening in the economy. They're going to drop rates. If they drop rates, we're going to have major issues again. Just so you understand, this is not a good thing if they drop rates, but they're going to have to. And then that basically means that a lot of the banks who bought yields when they were low and high, there's a stuck position right now where people are going to sell off a lot of the yields that they, or a lot of the bonds that they currently have, which is going to crush a lot of, like, you're going to get rid of your short-term yield bonds to buy high yield bonds, but then you're going to crash the front end, and then that's going to drop the back end, and you're going to have a stabilization, which is going to throw off the business industry, and that business industry is going to implode on itself. And then we're going to see, hopefully not another 2008, but it's going to be something similar, very similar, if they drop it too hard. So it's going to be this very precarious situation. But I think they're going to have to do it because they're going to have to think that they're stimulating the economy, and the reality is they're not. The biggest key here is that we need to see local banks keep lending, and they're not going to. And because of that, that's going to mess with two things. The repo market. The repo market, people are going to squeeze up and go, I'm not going to give this short-term yield. And so then what are we going to say? We're going to have to see the Fed step in as a last minute, or
last resort.
Lender of last resort. And then they're going to have to fill it. Exactly.
Money printer.
So these are these small nuances that are important to understand. It's not just numbers. Now, yes, as a trader, because we can read the charts, yeah, it's just numbers to us, in all honesty. But these are real people being hurt. These are real business that are going to be collapsing. These are real life situations in other countries where babies will go hungry, where moms and dads will have to literally choose between, either feeding one child or themselves. Like, this is real circumstances that we will see. And this breaks my heart because a lot of this could have been avoided. But
a lot of it could have been avoided, but really none of it is short-term stuff. None of it is really even blame Mr. Biden, blame Trump's first 100 days, or anything like that.
The Fed and local banks and lending.
This has been a long time coming because our government has been spending too much money, and we have to spend too much money on interest supporting it, and too much mental energy on behalf of everyone in the government and in business, ensuring this thing is balanced and working. And just ensuring that, make sure these scales are doing this, and not. If we didn't have to spend so much time doing that, we could put many more government resources into A, paying down the debt, B, figuring out better way to do stuff, all that type of stuff. And instead, we're spending time talking about this. Even us, you and I spend too much time talking about the national debt. We should talk about is like, shit, we're getting rich today, more fat bags, woo, 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 bro, crypto bro.
Well, here's the thing.
Instead, we have to talk about this because it affects us so much.
The thing is, crypto would never have been existed.
Right.
Like, here's the thing. If we had the debt, Satoshi Nakamoto would not ever have had created Bitcoin, and then the crypto industry. I mean, I think we would have become more digitized, definitely, right, as we progress. I think more money would have been put into more innovation. But the problem is, and this is where we've talked about also on our show, is that debt creates opportunity. Meaning, I take a debt out. I take $250,000, $300,000 debt to build a business. That business starts to do well, right? All of a sudden, after 5 years, I'm making $300,000, $400,000 because I took out $250,000 to keep my business going.
You employ people, buy shit.
Exactly, and that creates an economy, right? So, debt is not bad. My biggest issue is how our banks create money. Okay. This is one of the biggest things that we've talked about this on our show a couple times, that banks, the Federal Reserve sets a lot of the larger term, but from a local sense, banks, for them to make money, and this goes into me receiving my debt system, right? Or the debt system is that I have to go to a local bank or even a large bank. It doesn't even matter, but normally it's local banks that you go to, like like a
savings and loan, credit bureau,
credit, like a credit
or credit.
Yeah, you go to a credit union, whatever it is.
Credit union.
Yeah, credit unions, like I said. And then what they do is they go through, they'll go in, and then I just realized something. I think we might have a delay. I think so.
Possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7.
We do. I love it. Okay. What was I gonna say? This thing is messed up. I moved this earlier today, accidentally. It's probably better. We're gonna go over a couple charts here, and then a way to take advantage of all of this. So many of you guys have been getting in on the bond system right here.
Check, Pedro, check. Can you hear me?
Yep. Check. Yep. I can hear you.
Hopefully, I just fixed our delay.
I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5.
1, 2,
3, 4.
Yeah, we're still probably a second. All right.
I'll take that into account when interrupting you.
Fair enough. Okay, so one of the things that we've been talking about is the push up of the bonds. Even this past week, during Technical Tuesday, I said I expect bonds to go up because I expect them to lower rates, because sooner or later somebody who is being honest is going to go out there. And I forget why do I keep forgetting the guy's name? You've mentioned him a couple times. He keeps fighting with Jerome Powell, saying, "Hey, dude, you're not telling the full story here."
Governor Waller.
Governor Waller,
who dissented.
Yeah, he dissented. And so one of those aspects, the aspect behind here is that hopefully saner minds will prevail in this, right? That they'll sit there and look at the numbers, and instead of just trying to squeak out, because I feel like there's also this push to squeak out as much money before the fall of America, right? If we, and I keep saying this because if we keep going along the route in which we're sitting at, we are going to see it happen within 10 years. America will be completely broke, where we will not even be able to pay on the very interest. And that's where the issue comes in, right? Like, we can still pay the interest and get things going, but the problem is when we finally miss that interest payment because we don't have enough money, and this goes to 37 instead of 37, it's like 97, almost $100 trillion. And then at that point, people sit there and go, you can't even pay your actual real obligations in your society now. So a lot of this has to do with them descaling this, paying this down, and most importantly, getting our fiscal situation under wraps here in the government. It's very important. It's very important, because as it keeps escalating, like, another smaller country can go belly up and it doesn't hurt the world. I mean, it would, but it's not, right? Like, we were talking about Ireland or Scotland yesterday, but Ireland went belly up, you know. Yeah. And what happened was they restructured with the European Union. They were able to kind of get things going again, and then they brought in new industry and got it running again. If America goes belly up, there's no one to bring in. Yeah, like, we are the people that get brought in to bring things in, right? America, like, world police. We are the Navy. Right, exactly. Yeah. But so these are these small things that I'm looking at, going, okay, how do we plan for that? Well, one, we need to use the current system right now, right, to receive income so that you can buy more crypto. Also, buy more of what we're seeing that's dropping. So one thing that's fairly good, and I think this is more based off of, this is not really a chart analysis, but more of a just a fundamental move here. And I said fundamental moves will typically, if it's a real fundamental move, will always overshadow your technical analysis, but your technical analysis will lead up to the fundamental analysis move.
Pedro, you know how you can learn more about technical analysis?
Oh.
By watching us on Rumble.
Very good. Yeah, that's awesome. Go ahead, take over.
Oh, campaign no longer available. Oh, we dropped under right when I went to read it, we dropped under the amount required. So back to the topic at hand. We got to get some more viewers first. Anyway, Pedro stepped out while he thinks I'm reading the ad. But I can't stress enough the importance of these numbers here, and their accuracy being off. The Street today, I listened to two different podcasts today. I'm sorry, two live news things, Bloomberg, CNBC, and then a podcast Pedro sent me. And the numbers, the people were aghast. They're like, people should be fired. And they referenced a company's internal analysts giving guidance on their upcoming numbers release. And their numbers release was so off that it wasn't just like, 2% off or 3% off. It was like they said, it looks like they're reporting for a different company altogether and just cut and paste the names. And he said it was so off that all these people should just be fired, as like, what tragic mistake did you make? And the people yesterday, anticipating the numbers coming out, Pedro, we dropped under the amount needed to run the ad right as I was going to run the ad. So we gotta wait for a few more viewers.
Okay, yeah, it's all good.
Anyway, I'll just finish up here quickly. That both CNBC, Bloomberg, and this podcast Pedro sent me, the people were just absolutely flabbergasted. It wasn't like, oh, well, the numbers got revised a little bit, Jim, but they're all within the window of margin of error or something like that.
No.
They're like, this is totally effed. Even the guys on CNBC, like, they wanted to pull they all wear rugs on CNBC, and they wanted to pull their rugs off and throw them and be like, come on, guys, get with it. You know, if the Bureau of Labor Statistics, whose budget is multi-billions of dollars, can't get it right, I bet you Elon could call in his Doji friends and then just like run 3 or 4 SQL commands. Bloop, 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 bloop. Here's the info, done. And put it on the loop so it just runs all day, and the government just has a window that's live info, and US Debt Clock just picks that up. Doesn't have to figure it out. Groups like Trueflation don't need to figure it out. They just know the number's accurate. But no, they can't do that. So all of these podcasts and news people were absolutely aghast.
Well, here's my thing.
Wait, let me finish. Here's my thing. The point is, why didn't they see it like Pedro saw it?
There you go.
Why didn't they see it like Pedro saw it? Pedro saw this coming a while ago. In the Biden administration,
right? And then I started bringing it up, going, "Are they doing the same thing that Biden was doing?" So
right.
Go ahead.
And the idea is, we tell you, and this took me a while to understand, that when you say, oh, well, it's just technical, and a lot of people don't believe in technical analysis. I can see if you're just looking at one chart and you don't understand the market, because I was like that. I was like, that's just lines on a chart. But when you have multiple charts of different indicators, those are all different points of information, even if you don't know what's behind them, and all these charts correlate to each other in some way or another, you can quickly go, hey, wait, something's amiss here. And that's what Pedro does. He says, something's amiss here, does a little research, and you're like, hey, the government said this, but the numbers say that. Anyway, Pedro, I think your magic worked here.
Well, it's not, and the thing that just
wait, hold on. I think I was referring to the magic that gets people to watch Rumble.
Oh,
this sponsorship is from Rumble, one that's incredibly important to the survival of Rumble itself. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built a platform for the small creator. They didn't cater or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversations or censor opinions on COVID. But they did. Facebook admitted they felt a pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. That's right. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked in governments by governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive just with brand advertisers. They just don't receive much of that. Watching our show on Rumble is the most that they can ask from you. It's the most we can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight and you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we're just happy that you watch us here on Rumble. So QR codes right here for those of you watching on your big screens or small screens. Links in your comment section here in the live chat. It says learn more. Click those. Click the QR code on use your phone. Go put it on your smart TV. I know a bunch of people are watching on your TVs. And go let our advertisers and our segment sponsors know that our audience is interactive and takes these things seriously. Free speech is very serious, and having an outlet. Pedro, we are a great example. Our viewership on YouTube has plummeted. Same show we do, and it's down a lot. On Rumble, it's up a lot. One platform is saying, these topics, they say, we don't censor you, but they can say, we don't want as much crypto. And Rumble's not like that, and our viewership is growing every single day. So that's why we're here on Rumble, and you should join Rumble Premium. There's buttons down here, there's links here, there's QR codes over here, there's all sorts of ways. Tell them Tom and Pedro sent you. So thank you to Rumble for sponsoring this segment.
Absolutely.
Back to the show.
So one of the things that we were talking about, and I think it's just like really important, is that it's not just even looking at the idea that it's just honest reporting. Stop with the spin. Like the government needs to stop with the spin and really look for the people. And look out for the people. I was listening again to the Tom Bailu show today, and I wanted him to talk a little bit about stablecoins and what's actually happening with Besant and how he's really trying to push digitalization. And one of the primary reasons why he's really trying to do that is if he can get away from, and he's talking more about decentralization. He's talking about DeFi. Maybe not even CeFi, but more DeFi and pushing that, which I find so interesting. And on the back end, if we can sit there and really push a dollar that is backed by assets and allow, if inflation happens, we'll see whatever value that is backing the stablecoin go up. And I think that's really important to understand, because that gives America more of a fighting and stronger chance to be able to handle the inflation. And also you take power from literally the Fed, which was basically birthed on us during 1913 in December, right? And then we saw the breakdown, and I want to quote again Jared Sessler, or soon to be Congressman Jared Sessler.
Not so soon.
I don't know, dude. Like, I want to.
Other guys are still warming their seats from being sworn in.
Yeah, well, they've got a year. And anyways, so I say that because he wrote a book, How They Broke America is what it's called. And it basically talks about the 17th Amendment and a few other amendments that were created that isn't really helping out America currently right now, and how it kind of needs to get pushed out. And it really wasn't brought in by the American people, but more bankers or banksters, as I call them. And I pull that from George Gammon, Rebel Capital. But in the same sense, that's really what needs to kind of happen. And if we can do that, we can actually break away, pay down the debt, stop inflation in a sense, and then from there create real GDP. Then from there, we can kind of even pull away from the full system and allow for true prosperity. Because right now, the way this system is, it's actually a debt slave system that we live in. And so people basically have to struggle every time inflation happens, that you think you're getting ahead because you get pay raises, but it gets eaten up by inflation. And basically, as Tom famously said on our show, I used to be able to buy four legs of chicken.
3 grilled chicken breasts at Kroger / Mario's for $9.99.
Yeah.
And then Kroger says, we didn't raise our prices. And then you buy it and there's only 2 in there now. You MFers raised your price 33.3%.
Yes, yet they sit there and say, we didn't raise our prices. BS.
See, it's still marked $9.99.
Yeah, but you give me
Prove
less.
me wrong. I'm like, yeah, it's marked $9.99. Aha, see? Told you. We're like, look, there's nothing but air in there. Paying for air.
Yeah, it's really what it is, right? And so our current system basically allows for that. And we can get away with that by actually establishing a real system that's decentralized. Now, again, I think we need a balance of a decentralized system, and our current system is sick. It needs to get revitalized, right? It needs to get changed and move some things around. I'm not opposed to our current system, but I'm opposed to some of the things that we do, and we allow banks to create money.
Using the whole fist talk?
We allow our banks to create all this money and flush it into the system. And you're like, well, banks can't create money. Yes, they do through fractionalization.
They certainly do.
Through fractionalization of loans.
Because they only need, 5% reserves now or something like that?
In other countries, it's 0. And you forget, this is really important. What do? They buy USD, right, to back up their own loans. And this is the part that people don't even think about. It is a fractionalized system that is a cancer throughout the rest of the world because they back it with USD, right? And then from there, that then adds into the into our system because they sell us their loans, and then what do? We take those loans, we receive interest on that, but then when we receive that interest, what do? We fractionalize that income so they can squeak out more profit here in America. I.e., there's so many things that it's just
no need to beleaguer it. Let's why don't we move on to talking about Bitcoin? What happened yesterday in Bitcoin with the sell-off?
Nice.
And how that was, we all hoped it would reverse and we'd have a nice reversal or a money printer model, and instead we got shitty numbers and a dumperooski.
No, we did exactly what we talked about, and we want it to happen. It did exactly what I said what I wanted it to do. We saw the sell-off come in, so we're finishing off the week coming down below here, right? I said, guys, I'm expecting us to hit that low of that 114 area, right? The 114.8. I thought we were going to do it on Wednesday. We did it on Friday. So we came down here to it, or last time we came down to it. Boom. We continued down. We're going to hit these levels here. Now, most importantly, what is it today? Most importantly, today specifically, what is today's date?
The 1st of the month.
It's the 1st of the month. And what do we want to see? If we want to see a chart go up, and Tom famously yesterday got this, which I was so happy for him. What do we want to see with a chart, with a candle? What do we want to see first with it if we want it to go up?
We want to see the demand wick.
Yes. And the way a demand wick is created is how?
Market goes down first, and then people buy it back up because the demand meets more than the supply.
Exactly. And so right now it's the 1st of the month. So if at the beginning of the month, If we're seeing a chart go down for the first week or two, is what I said. If this thing is going to go up into next month, we need to first create a demand wick, which means that we need to see selling coming at the first of the month, which means then we'll see a reversal when it hits liquidity pools. And that's exactly what we saw. So we'll go into this trade first. Now, I thought this was going to happen again last week on the weekend. It didn't. They stayed in, as Tom says, the idiot box forever. But this week, at the end of the week, they did see the sell-off because of the numbers. But more importantly, we actually played. So obviously, a lot of us would have been asleep around this time period here. Or wait, 1800. Let's make sure the time period here is Los Angeles. Let's do this New York.
Welcome, Rumble viewers. I see there's a bunch of new ones there. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, comment. Just do it. We're a live show. Please interact with us. We just don't feel like proper hosts of a show without interacting.
Absolutely. All right, guys. You can see right here, real simple. This happened later last night at the sell-off. We saw it come up. We saw it find support. It came and hit our liquidity points. I'm going to delete this one here because these were some of the areas that I was looking for it to bounce. We saw it bounce, but it didn't continue. But really what this area right here is that 1400 area. We saw it come down, put a nice little big demand wick, and then right around here you see it close above the 8 period moving average. Now this part would have been a little harder because you can see here that the red volume, the seller volume, was saying that we're going down continuous, but you saw as we started moving up. So if you were going to play this play, you would have been, instead of, you could have put your stop right here, which would have been good. You would have got in around here at this level, right? And then you want to wait for a 1-to-1 ratio. So you can see here on this, let me do it. Oh. Real quick, you can see this is where you're looking for. We want to put our stop right here, and you would have been looking for a 1-to-1 ratio or a new high. So you can see here that this came down a little, then you would have got in. But either way, this is a 1-to-1 ratio that you could have got. As you saw, it closed below that 8, or you could have got out right here at this level here as the close below the 8. Or you could have waited for the actual push up to right here. But ultimately, either way, you're still doing pretty well here. And then the next play would have been right over here again. I like playing the first play, but either way, you still could have played this one. This one right here is in the London session. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. So if you happen to be up, you could have been part of it.
It's 5 o'clock on a Saturday. I don't know why that song just popped in my head, but
you can see here that it came and hit this level here. Again, a 1-to-1 ratio. You could have took out 70% and then waited for the pullback, or you could have just simply got out. And then again, we see the play again here. We get above right here. 1, 2, 3. This little area right here. I probably wouldn't have gone in here. This one would have been more one because this is your third time, and I'm like, I don't know about that one. Nobody got time for that. But again, you would have caught.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But right here, you still could have seen a nice little 1-to-1 ratio, or a lot higher. But either way, it's just one of these plays that we're still playing off of this. Now, I think we're going to come down here. As we continue down, where's the next liquidity area? Again, it's going to be that 112 area. And so for me, I'm looking at that 112 area, expecting it to come down, hit, and it's a similar play that we're going to play here. Okay, over the weekend, we'll see it come down. And now, this is important because it is the beginning of the week, and the beginning of the new month, and the beginning of, or next week would be the beginning of a new week of the new month. Then what that means for you is expect it to go down. That's what we want. If it goes down, then by the end of the month, we will see it go up. So it's really important to understand the nuance there. We're not afraid that it goes down. I'm expecting, we've been talking it, that it might go down to that 114, that 112, the 111, or the 110 area. Right? These are these areas that I want to see. And the reason why is because if you look at the monthly chart, or excuse me, the weekly chart and the monthly chart, this blue line is the previous candle in control, which means it was the highest candle before our last month. You can see we want to see it come down to that area, because the way the market works is the market goes from support to resistance, then come back, and then that resistance becomes support, and then pushes up to create a new high, and then comes back down. So it looks something like this. Boom, 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 right? Higher highs, higher lows. And those lows sit on the previous higher highs. So that's what we want to see. And that's what we're seeing. And then after it pulls back first, then expect it to continue higher. This is why I say I'm expecting to get to that 140 or 145, potentially 150 area, where we really start to see the expansion candles come in and really make a good move. And then that will be August, right? Then September, I expect us to do big numbers, potentially 50,000, right? Well, then we'll get to 200, right?
50.
And then from 50,000, yes. And then we'll probably see another 60,000 in October, September, October, November. We'll see it push up again to that. Maybe we'll start to see a slower down candle. And then it might get to that 300, like I said, 250, 300,000 is what I'm expecting. And so this is what I'm seeing in these next couple candles. And it's playing right. We want it to come down first, and then we want to see it go up. And so these are the things that we're playing here over the next few months, so you guys understand. And you can go back and you can look at a lot of, I really, at the beginning of July, late June, early July, started saying I'm expecting us to start to step into this bull market. I called Ethereum, we called XRP, we called a few other things here. And so again, it's playing how we want it to play. Ethereum, which is nicely playing, is still bullish. I mean, look, it hasn't even come down to this liquidity point. It finally came through the 20 period moving average. So this is going to be a potential play here. I might be monitoring this to watch this happen. And you can see that the seller wicks are kind of coming in. You're watching demand wicks as it's coming. So we are probably going to see a bit of a play right here on Ethereum. So if you want to trade that on a market, or excuse me, if you want to trade that in an exchange that has a future for it, you could do that. And what we're looking at as our area is this little line sitting at. You can see if you look at your daily and or your weekly, it's the bottom of last week, right? What we're looking at, we're going to come and tap that area there. Then we should see liquidity at right below here, because there's a lot of stops sitting here, right? And so there's going to be stops. These are like sell stops. These sell stops basically means sell my position. So the institution is going to take the other side as a buy. And so they're going to absorb those buys. And you're going to see it push up. And then we're going to see most likely another correction come down. But again, this play is not a major play. We're not looking for a 2-3 day run here. All this simply is just a quick 1-to-1. And then you leave it, see if it continues higher. Remember, we want to see it get above the 8 period moving average so that you don't get caught up in the actual movement down, right? It's like we're just looking at a 1-to-1 ratio. If it continues higher, great. If it pulls back, whatever, take your money and run. And so that's what these plays are for, right? Build your account so that you can say, all right, when it comes down to this level, potentially, we talked about hitting that 3,000 level, right? If it comes down to that level and hits that liquidity area and the weekly 8 period moving average, that's when I'm going to buy in. I'll be like, all right, all this money I just made, I'll take a quarter of it and just drop it into that low point, buy the actual coin itself. Or if you want to use a future position, you can do that. But these are those longer runs, you'll definitely play it. So these are some of the things we're looking for into this next couple of weeks coming in. Yeah, that's pretty much it. How many people do we have watching this right now? 13. If we got 13 people here, shout out to you guys, man. How many do you actually have on your feed that you see, Tom?
Total of 20.
Total of 20. So I just
including YouTube and X.
Oh wow.
Twitch is always is just one. And the X people come and go. There's a constant, new people, and then they leave because X is too fast. Zoop, 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 zoop. Nobody sticks around on X.
Yeah. One day we'll get somebody big and they'll be like, wow, these guys are really cool.
Who knew? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday here. We've had a big week here with the DYOR Media Network. For the first time, we have been able to renew our Rumble partnership because it's a month-to-month based thing. We reached all of our goals, and all of our goals aren't actually reached by Pedro and I. They're actually reached by you guys. You guys have to watch, you have to chat, and you have to like and follow and do all those types of things, and we met all of our goals for that. Well, one of them is totally up to us, and that's the number of hours streamed. We reached that. And except for the news channels that are online all the time, like the 24-hour news channels or the larger streams that just broadcast, not larger, but the crypto streams that just broadcast charts all day. I believe we're the top
Only
live
crypto?
show in number of hours streamed in crypto, crypto and finance. I mean, there's plenty of people like Steve Crowder does a 3-hour show every day, and there's some podcasts that go 6 hours every day, but they rotate in hosts and things like that. But as far as I'm probably doing the JD Powers thing where you just kind of you pay them and they make up a category for you to win. I believe we're winning our category for the show that broadcasts the most live.
And what about with the viewership? How high are we on viewership? Are we?
Well, right now we're the number one show in the finance and crypto category on Rumble.
Oh, wow.
On YouTube, we're like 7,951. But on Rumble, number one, baby. We're beating some show called Living Online by 6 viewers. And all the other streams right now, except for one, are just those robot channels that are, let me rephrase that are in the top 5. And there are a lot of other people talking about crypto, including the Crypto Radio that has 1 viewer.
Really? That is so cool. But is that just pretty much for our airtime, or is that for our actual overall?
No, number of viewers.
That's cool. That's actually really, really cool. So shout out to every one of you guys. That's your guys' doing. So we appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. Thank you. Honestly, we are for the people. This is for us. I see us as an us, not me against you and or just you, but this is us. I feel like we're almost like the DYOR family. And the goal here is to really kind of sift through a lot of the malarkey that's in the current mainstream and kind of give you guys the realness of what's actually happening, right? And it may not be something we want to hear, but I'd rather be open and honest. There's a scripture that says, an enemy kisses you on the cheek and a friend slaps you. Now, I'm not looking to slap you in the face, but I want to be open and honest with you so that you can understand, these are the circumstances that are really happening. If I see a chart selling off, and if the mainstream saying, oh, everything is good, everything's amazing. Well, no, it's not. They're lying to you, right? And so,
all right, give me a second, Pedro. I'm curious of what's going on over here. I'm gonna listen to this other podcast for just a second to see if they're competitors of ours or not.
That's all right. Shout out. What's up, Brandon Commando? It's good to see you, man. Much love, dude. As always, you rock the mic. Yeah, baby. Yeah. How you doing, man? How's your day going? Let me know what your thoughts are. Where's my... That's interesting. Oh, and dang it. I think I just went... Tom, I think I just went quiet. Can you guys hear me?
You're
Am I
good, Pedro.
All right, excellent. Okay, so let's check out a couple of these other ones here, and I'm actually looking to pull up a. Tell me I got it.
Thank you, Brando Commando, for joining us, and he says you're welcome when I said thank you to all of you viewers, and of course, Brando Commander, I'm Still gonna ask, please share this with whatever trading group or friends group you're in. Bring in someone else for some clickbait. I mean clicks. Whatever. But anyway, thank you for your participation. I really appreciate it. Here.
And if you don't do it, you know what I'm just gonna eat on air.
Look at this button. Oh, and the mute button. I turned myself off instead. The little lines up there, that's Pedro's voice or slurping. I muted the sound, but the graph is pre-mute button. That.
Enough with this crazy. All right, so let's move forward here. All right. So we're watching, as you can see, XRP is coming down to where I'm thinking, put a nice little demand wick in for the month for XRP. As you can see, I'm expecting it to come back down and touch this level of that 266 area, the 248 area. Put a nice little demand wick and then see it go up. Again, we're going to start seeing extended candles here. To quote an old organization, they used to call them extended range candles, ERCs. And so that's what I'm expecting to start seeing here into this bull run. We came down first, nice little play. Now, what I'm looking to see what is going to take off is a lot of these other altcoins that are kind of smaller, right? And so one being Crow, as you guys all know, we actually came up into this area, which is nice. So that 14.6, I thought we were going to get up to the higher part in, but we just came about towards the middle of the zone here that I had. Next month, as we're coming down, I would expect to see it kind of come down into the previous week potential lows here. This is what we're looking at. Boom. But a few of these exchanges, I've noticed that they will typically kind of start to move first in the market before it really starts to get going. So these are one of those things. That's a burp in your ear. I'm sorry about that, guys. That's gross. So this area right here, that 1173 potentially, and then the next area that we could happen to see this thing come down into is currently where we're kind of close here. We could see a potential jump here. It's going to be right here, and this is this level right here. So you can see here, excuse me, this one right here. See that big extended candle here? This level here, we could be acting as that 1311 area. You see it come down into that, and it'll be a nice little play. So if you're looking to play, again, one of my 1-to-1 ratios that you go in, you make your money and get out, that is a liquidity pool. And again, that's that 1311. That's 13 cents 11 over on Crow there. But I'm looking at a couple of these other ones to really see if we get going. The other one I want to sit there and say is HBAR coming back down to that level of that 2271. We did put a new high in when we were going up last week. So we should then potentially put in a higher low. But if we do not, this area, if it doesn't go, if it goes lower, it's nothing to stress about, because we actually put in a higher high here with a fairly good amount of volume here for a couple of days. And you can see here how we're not really seeing a ton of real seller volume pick up. We're actually seeing it kind of now start to go down there. So I would expect this to potentially, if it does come down and create a new lower low here, it would probably be just one big giant demand wick before we see this thing continue higher. So that's what I'm expecting for HBAR. As you guys all know, I love me my H&T. I actually did not buy in at these levels here, simply because we went up first yesterday for H&T. And so for me, as I was looking at that, I said, yeah, that's a sucker play right there. They came in, pushed it up.
Sucker free city.
Sucker free city. I said, nah, I'm good. I ain't gonna get played. They're gonna drop it through. Like, first I don't want to see it come down into the zone and then go up, but that's not what they did. They came down and then jumped up. Banker coin had some good plays last few days on Banker coin. So is Banker coin what type of coin is it?
Banker coin? I don't know anything about
Yeah,
Banker coin.
it's Brandon Commando. Are you part of our? Is he a part of our? What do they call that, bud?
Telegram group?
Yeah, Telegram group, because you can drop in the CA and I can pull it up.
Brando, in the Rumble description is a link to our Telegram group if you're not already a member of it.
Yeah, go through, man, and just drop the bank. And if you could, Tom, just send that to me. I'll see if I can pull it up here. Banker. B-A-N-K-R. Banker. Market cap 75,000.
Oh, the show that was below us suddenly just got 50 viewers. Very suspect.
Sometimes the way it rolls, man.
I suspect this guy may be AI.
Not yet. Yeah, Brandon Commando, go through into our Telegram and then just drop the CA so I can pull it up. I just want to make sure I pull the right one up. You know how there are a million coins? J-proof. Wow, we just got 18. Wow, we got a ton of views. Just came out all of a sudden. Okay, nice.
Yeah, I switched our thumbnail on Rebel while we're broadcasting today to show us talking. And to see if that gathers people going, oh, look, it's real people instead of these other bot channels.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Well, we are real.
There's no doubt the man above me is real. If AI can make this guy, then the planet is doomed to Skynet forever. I mean, if AI is that good that it can replicate Pedro's brain, then we're all screwed.
You know, I was actually looking at some of the jobs. So Microsoft went out there and released a job list.
Hold on.
It's funny.
Wait, so hold on, Pedro. There's a breaking news right now. Trump has directed that the Commissioner of Labor Statistics be fired. Here's the no shit award of the week. Duh. He should be fired. He should be taken out back, drawn, quartered, buried in the back 40, or she, whomever. Obviously, I'm not condoning drawing and quartering anybody. If anyone's into English torture from the 1600s.
Oh, it's killing me, dude. Yeah,
it's like a game to these people instead of real life. Speaking of gaming.
Right, go ahead, game.
Speaking of gaming, ladies and gentlemen, this segment of our show is sponsored by Technosport Gaming Chairs. Elevate your game. Code Rumble, 10% off and free shipping. Are you looking for a comfortable but unique option for your gaming setup? Check out Technosport USA. With a wide range of ergonomic chairs and an array of colors, you'll definitely bring your setup to the next level. Always comfy, never boring. Technosport. Use code RUMBLE for 10% off entire order. Ladies and gentlemen, right next to me there's a QR code. Click that. Put your phone up. Say, go there. Show our segment sponsors that our audience is real people and interested in continuing our good show, because it helps us out if you go visit them. That's great. But anyway, it also helps if you get 10 of your friends to come watch this, then more of them go visit them too. That's how that works. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a comfortable but unique option for your gaming setup, check out technosportusa.com. Also, there's a link in your comment section. Live chat, there'll be a link that says learn more. Go hit that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Technosport for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live.
Thank you so much for that, guys. Appreciate you. All right, guys, please do us a quick favor. Just click that link, play around, go throughout. And if you see something you think you might like, go through and get it.
You see something, say something.
Exactly. But I've actually been looking for an actual good chair that correlates, because I've seen some of these ones that actually has a video that you can put your camera on. And so it literally sits in front of you and you can do this and it literally pins to your face. I saw that and I was like,
Pedro.
Yes, sir.
As much as I detest the ball that you sit on because you sit there and do this, it's better. I know we need to get you an image stabilized camera. But if you were to get the gaming chairs, have you ever seen what happens to someone that sits in front of their computer in a gaming chair for 7 or 8 hours a day?
No.
Let me tell you, it's the opposite of what goes on in that ball. You're not stretching the legs. Have you ever seen the movie Wall-E, animated thing about the little robot? Remember the little, I watched it 8 million times because I had kids at that age. And all the people that were in the spaceship, all they were just blobs sitting around in those chairs. For all of you that work in front of computers, get a standing desk. Get some ergonomic stuff. Although I should say Technisport did say that their things were ergonomically designed. So we'll give them that.
Well, I'll have to go there, and I'll look to see if they have any walking desks too, because those techie companies really do.
You'll just ruin your knees doing that.
The walking chairs or the walking
Yeah, because you don't use your normal gait, and the only good walking is your normal gait that your muscles and ligaments, unless you have created a new gait and are practicing it exactly. You know, the difference is, here's the difference, and this is how I know you're single. Because there's a difference between you're walking down the street and then the walk you do when you following your woman around the shopping mall. You can walk down the street. I can walk 20,000 paces and steps, and I don't hurt. I'm tired, but I don't hurt. I walk 10 minutes through the mall, and my hip flexors and my this ligament and the hammies, they're all going, ow! Because I'm doing start and stop. I'm this, half steps, back and forth, walking like a penguin, holding a bunch of shit.
Oh, because you got a girl that you got to hold her.
You got to follow her around while she shops.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point is, the walking desk, you can injure yourself badly if you don't have proper form.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Because you don't take full steps on those things. This conversation's gone. It's something you have to train your body to use first before you use it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll hurt yourself.
This is good to know. I'm gonna have to research this now. Did Brandon Commando drop in the CA for?
I'll check here.
All right, guys. So,
I didn't even drop the link to the show today. How about that?
Check that out. Let's see if we can get it going. All right. I was looking at Vanna. We didn't really go over our meme coins much this week. We can go over that here real quick. Chill Guy, been pretty cool. They came down, hit this area here. It's interesting. They had a strong sell-off, really strong sell-off, which was interesting watching it actually happen. Come on. Here we are. Here is our area of liquidity. When it came down and hit it, again, it played perfectly into what we were looking at. Always talking about how these are small little plays here. Came through, broke it, and then we saw it get above the 8-period moving average. Looking for the demand wicks coming in, so you would have been getting around that 73 million market cap, and it went all the way up to it would have been, you would have got it in around here. Your stop would have been about right here, and so your risk to reward, which I'll get right here. Pardon me, coming through. Excuse me. This would have been right here. You've been somewhere around here. Your stop would have been right here. You've been looking for a 1-to-1 ratio, which would have been about right about here. So you would have got that, taken out 70% of this trade, and then boom. Decide if you want to hold on to it, but you would have made some pocket change and popped it like it was hot. You could have got it again as it fell through and then played it. But this was for Chill Guy. And then the next one was down at this level here. Boom. Nice little liquidity pull right here. See it come down. This one, there were no demand wicks, so I would have been hesitant to get in on that one. I would have been more apt to get in on this pull here, because this one has no demand wicks, which means the bottom wicks has more seller wicks, so it's communicating to me that it wants to sell the market. If I would have seen it going up, I would have been like, it's probably not going to continue. But this one right here, you can see as we're coming down, and it's still in that same liquidity pool area here. I would have been like, all right, here, these are demand wicks. So you could have played this one right here, where we saw the pullback, or you could have gotten earlier right here. Again, where I like to see get above the 8-period moving average. So I would have been looking for this play right here, and our stop would have been, remember, we always look for a higher high first, right? And so you would have seen it more to play right here. Our stop would have been about right here. And you can see here, we came down, we would have had to suffer a little, unfortunately. And then again, this isn't 100% play here, but if you would have got out, you could have got out potentially right here at that 8, that cross of the 8 for just a small profit, or you could have just suffered a little and waited for the new alt for a higher high, right? Because this is where we're at. The higher high needs to be created above this, right? And you actually could have got out of that right there, which is true. But either way, if you would have held on to it, you could have easily got that 101 or 1-to-1, and if not, your second play would have been probably out around that 200 period. And then once you cross below that 200 or the 8 period here, you could have got out here. So again, that was a little, a 1 to 1.24, or basically a 1 to 1.25 play there. And so that, that's a nice little plays you could have played there. Stop. Why aren't you deleting? No. You don't. Boom, delete. All right. So chill guy would have played nice into your hands. Nice little profit right there. But ultimately, chill guy is pulling back here. I'm expecting it to continue higher, but the only problem is it's the first of the month here. So then that means that we would expect it to continue lower at first before we see it go higher. It didn't go up to the points that I thought it was going to go this month. I thought we were going to see it continue a little bit higher and get above that 8-period moving average. We did not. We pulled back, but we did finish green here. So that is a good sign, saying we finished green. So it meant that the sellers did not take full control. They did push it back, but they didn't take over the war. The fact that we're going down first at the beginning of the month here states that we're finding support on the 8, which means that we should see chill guy go to the next level, which is easily going to be above 179. And I wouldn't be shocked if chill guy got up to 110 milli, if not 120 milli next month. And then after that,
that's a lot of millis.
Yeah, that is true. But they're sitting about a 54 milli right now. So
do you follow their community at all? Do they have a good one?
I do not, actually.
I've tweeted out to them, but I think I got one response in the 2 or 3 times. Like normally when we cover these memes, I take a screenshot, I tweet it to their community that we're talking about them, and with Chill Guy, I only think I got 1 response.
Oh, that sucks. Well, it's all good. There's nothing we can do about it. I can just go over their stuff, and hopefully they hear it. I know it depends on what they want to do. But here's the thing. A lot of those communities, they're nothing but moon boys. So as soon as you start to say something negative, instead of saying, this thing's going to go to the moon, well, then they get upset.
Moon.
Yeah, moon. That's all they care about. Now let's talk about Fire Chicken, dude.
Fire Chicken in the house.
Fire
There's got to be some sound effect for it. We'll just give it the old.
Yeah, dude. So they bounced off this area here. Came back, found support on the 100-day period moving average. It always blows me away how accurate these moving averages are, man. Even though they're lagging indicators, it's amazing how they can act as supports. You know what I'm saying? It kind of blows me away. So you can see here that it found support on the 100-day period moving average. We started finding it growth, and all of a sudden it just sent. Yesterday they tried selling it off again, came back down to the 8-period moving average, and then look out of it. It just skyrocketed, man. It just went from 57,000 market cap all the way to 73,000. We're pulling back earlier today, which is cool. Nice little, if it pulls back even further, that's even cooler. They'll probably stay around that 64,000 and then see it go up. So I'm really excited about that. We'll see what's up as this continues.
Hold on, let's stay on that chart for just 1 second. So the day chart, pull up like a 4-hour chart on them.
All right.
So you see a big sell in that wick, and then with the big demand wick, buying it back up, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, with the recent growth in the projects, an early investor, a Satoshi era investor, decided, no mas, finito, done, I'm out. And so, and I say this because Chuck made a good meme.
What's the meme?
Oh, it's not centered, but it says dumping on fire chicken, and it shows a guy doing his thing on that candle there. And he bought purple Pepe, dumped fire chicken to buy purple Pepe, making Solana great again. So we might have to look at purple Pepe and see if that was a wise decision. Almost always, it's a bad choice to sell one meme token to go to another one, because that just means you're Mr. FOMO. If you sell huge profits in one and you put profits in pre-sales of another, that's different. But if you just FOMO from one to the other, it's guaranteed that the new project will just dump. Purple Pepe.
Check out purple Pepe right here. We've actually gone over it, and it dumped.
And it dumped. Makes Chuck feel good that his dumper got dumped on.
Oh, that's funny. But it did come down to our area here, so you can see that I had marked this area, came in, found support, pushed back up from 20,000 all the way up to 55,000. Came back down, found support, but it looks like it's pushing through. So that's really interesting.
And it would have happened right. You would have bought it right, like at this dump. What do you got? The day chart up there. Yeah. So he would have bought right in here. So he's thinking I'm buying at the lows, but this pattern here, this sawtooth pattern, decreasing sawtooth pattern, is infinite. In meme coins, I found that pattern to be just like the magician cutting the woman in half. It's just a trick. The whole thing's a trick, and it's a saw. Is it really sawing it? No, he's just taking your money out of your pocket via the ticket price. And that is what's going on with Pepe. Just not Pepe, purple Pepe.
What's up, Carmen Crypto? It's good to have you. Happy Friday, chum.
Carmen Crypto in the house, ladies and gentlemen, coming to us on Rumble. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Carmen says, Tom just sent you a pic of my event with my Nevada rep, Stephen Horsford, hosted by Stand with Crypto. The Stand with Crypto movement's pretty good. I participate in that in Canada with the Coinbase people there. Covered it, interviewed them about it, yada yada yada. All right, Carmen, let me go find that picture.
Alrighty. As Tom is doing that, we can do a little bit of a TA here real quick to see on purple Pepe potentially where we could see it pull back. So you can see here that we have a nice little demand zone right here. There we go. Right here, so you can see that area coming down. The only good thing about this, besides the fact that this guy dumped on our fire chicken, but that they're coming down to this lower level here. So you have a level here at that 16 million to 8 million area here. And that's 137, that's 131 million peak here. So there's too many bad things. So look, you have
too many bad
you have I mean, you have the 8 period, it's below the 8 period. It's been stifled both times. Every time it's tried to push above it. So now it's got to get new buyers. New buyers are going to have to come in down at these lower levels here, or at least it's got to come lower from where it's at. So whoever dumped on Fire Chicken, yeah, you can see here it's coming back down. You'll probably lose half of your investment there. How much did they make on that? Yeah, you're probably
that's a good question. So with Purple Pepe, all of the tokens have been minted and in Wallet's hands. So that means of its supply and of its market cap, there's a bunch of big wallets and that's why you see those massive sell-offs, because somebody dumps a 4% wallet and
that's what happens.
All right, quickly, I'm going to show my screen here. Had a great conversation about how to get citizens involved in crypto and blockchain policy. Carmen, who lives in Nevada and in Las Vegas, but works all over the place, is pictured here with her a Nevada rep. Is that Nevada state rep or Nevada rep to the House of Representatives in Washington, Steve Horsford, teaching people about crypto. And apparently Carmen was the expert on the panel answering all the questions about crypto. These events are always great. Getting more people into crypto is good. The learning curve on Wall Street has gone bonkers crazy up, but that doesn't mean that the people in the field, meaning us retail investors, have brought our knowledge up as well. Obviously, Pedro and I have, but we like with Pedro's group, like with Carmen's group, we're trying to educate people. I believe Carmen, what is it? The On-Chain Foundation. On-Chain Foundation. Helping people get into crypto, helping people do all that kind of stuff. I don't know why I have the Purple Pepe thing there. But that is, let's see if we can get this bigger here. Control plus. There we go. That's better. Let's see, as usual, mostly guys there. A couple of women in there, including the stand. Who is holding the stand with crypto, people? Which one is Representative Horsford? Let us know. There's Carmen, there's some girl, there's a tall balding guy, and then the other shorter balding guy pointing at the sign. Anyway, these events are always good. They're great networking groups because a lot of these people come into crypto and they're like, it's not for me, or lose their money quickly and then they're out. But a lot of people stay in it and get jobs in the industry and grow within that industry. That is our rep behind the sign. Is he a state rep or is he in Washington, D.C.? Let us know there. I'm sure I could take 1 second to Google that, but the interaction works as well here. Anyway, thanks, Carmen, for sharing that event.
How many?
Carmen, you get that video to me, and we'll host it on the Crypto Chit Chat section of our channel.
Let's go.
It's a state rep. Alrighty. Would have been a much bigger money event if it was the Washington rep. been snake skin shoes lobbyists there. Although I'm sure lobbying in what's the capital of Nevada? Carson City, Nevada?
Ooh, I don't know. I am not the guy to ask.
Right. Alexa, what's the capital of Nevada? I was correct. How about that? Anyway, what you covering here, Pedro?
Yeah, so I'm looking at ICP here real quick. I was trying to check some out because I feel like all there needs to be is another push of something cool when it comes to crypto and some type of new innovation when it comes to internet, AI, or AI internet connection. And I feel like we'll see another push within. So I'm kind of just seeing where I want to pick up ICP. just simply because it's a major coin, and its peak was 80. Actually, its peak was $613, and it's down at $5. So if I could even get a quarter of that and get it up to
Pedro planning to buy up 1% of the ICP.
yeah.
Carmen says they are building a tech brain trust. Well, Carmen, if you are at the center of that brain trust, then by all means, it's going to be super spectacular as the wizard is behind it, pulling the strings and all that type of stuff. So good luck with that, Carmen. Looking forward to having you on the show next Thursday.
Definitely. You know what still blows me away? That Lunic is still around. Luna. Like, it's still moving. It's still this is the part that's so beautiful about crypto, is that, I mean, just last week you saw it go from pretty much its all-time lows to, I mean, what did it do? It did 4, 9, 7. It's just almost a 2x. Almost a 2x, dude. It just blows me away that you can still get movement out of these ones that are dead, but they're not dead because the community can revive it. I mean, that's the part that's so amazing. Like, the CEO could get just tarnished, get done with, right? And the coin looks, but the community is still vibing. I think it's just crazy. Watch, like, this next bull run, something just happens, and all of a sudden Lunic just
I don't have enough zeros on the graphic machine for that. Let's see if we can. There we go.
What is the
4 zeros, 582 for Terra Luna, and that used to be $1.
Yeah. Well, remember it was a few.
It was an
banks
ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an ecosystem. But the thing about it was that you had a few banks. He famously came in and talked about how in this, because he'd been in crypto from the very beginning in the last bull run, and he said you'll see some of these coins just fall in on itself and just sit back and laugh and watch in amusement. And then 2 weeks later, his ecosystem, everything fell apart.
I do remember that. I do remember that, him like criticizing other people, and then boom. I think I don't know if it was you I had a discussion with. It seemed like somebody behind the scenes said, "Oh yeah, criticize us. F you. I'll take your system down." And boop. Little bad news. Little bad news. Little bad news. Depeg. Boom.
Yep, it really was, and I think it was even higher than that. What's the market cap of it right now?
Still 325 million.
300. Yeah, and I think the peak
at this
was
low
like,
SHIT price here, it's still 325 million. And the other number is $16 million traded in the past 24 hours.
It's
the problem with it is, though, Pedro, is that there's still people out there
foundation
that hold tons of that stuff. So if you push and you can see it in the thing here. They've already written it off to zero. They're like, we lost it. They've written it off on their books. But so if it just goes up like that, it does that 2 or 3x. They're like, all right, well, that's just free money for us now. They've written it off. They've taken the tax loss, and then they just go, boop. All right, I'll sell it on you. Just when it gets momentum, everyone's like, yes, let's get the community to buy it. Woo, woo, we can redo this thing. Somebody like Crypto Banter, who lost $100 million on it, just goes, boop, sell. I'll take my $2,500 now. And then the whole momentum.
He lost $100 million.
That's what he tells people.
Luna.
Yeah, he said he was solely invested in that as like his, because it was helping. It was doing very well for him. So he kept way too much in it, and he didn't diversify. Get $100 million. I diversify that out of crypto.
Dude, I wonder what his
that goes into real estate. That goes into, well, apparently he's got plenty of money anyway.
Well, I would have loved to see how his wife acted. Does he ever talk about how his wife?
Well,
his
it's
wife
like
said?
the movie about the AMC GameStop thing about that. What was the name of that movie? Guys, what was the movie with Seth Cohen and
Stupid Money.
Stupid Money? Dumb Money.
No, it was called Dumb
Right.
Money. Yeah, it was called Dumb Money.
When his hedge fund goes under in that betting on AMC, he shorted AMC and they ran him up. They ran him up and rung him up, and then he had to tell his wife, "No, we lost it all." And she's like, got the bags in it from the store.
Like, but here's the thing. I mean, you said his wife has been with him since like high school or something like that. They were in Boston and right, like in the ghetto, like almost in what's it called? So I'm calling it Shorty, but it's not Shorty. There's a part in Boston.
Southie.
Southie, there you go. Yeah, Southie. Like, was he like in Southie area? And he basically just climbed himself out into like a mansion out in Florida, right? Either way, it's an epic story. I love it. It's an absolute epic story of what just trading can do for you if you put down and really study hard what it'll do for you. Anyhow, that's a lot of money to lose. How do you sit there and say to your... But there's no way that he wrote it all the way down. There's no way.
Well, remember, it went pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I have.
Well, maybe he had 200 million and lost 100 million. Although he said he lost pretty much everything. I think what's his name? The guy behind it. Guy behind Luna.
I'm forgetting his name. Not Justin. It's not Son.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Banter said on a show is that he said, no, we have the wherewithal to repeg it and do everything fine. And that was, and 10 minutes later, it was like spiraling so far. There's like nobody had the means to do it. The money came out so fast.
Well, what it was there were actually banks that were shorting his stable coin. And then once they would take out the
stable coin. How do you short a stable coin?
Same way that you short it when you hit the short button. When I talk about the stable coin going up to 103, 104,
right.
There you hit a short. It goes down. And boom. I mean, this is where you can do cover calls or cover puts, right? Or you sell a put on it, and if it steps low, right? Like that's the part that I was saying is I'm looking forward to when they put options on a stable coin, and all of a sudden I can sit there and do cover calls, or I can sell a call, and I can sell a put, and I can hedge and basically make an additional 0.2 to a 0.5% on a monthly basis. They'll come to a point where you can sit there and squeak out an additional 6% annually.
Yeah, they'll fee you to death on that one unless you're a super whale trader.
Well, I don't even think that. But here's the thing: you wouldn't want that. You would not want that because you want people to come in and do that because that keeps your price hedged. Like if I sit there and I go,
but the exchange doesn't care about that. The exchange just wants to make fees.
No, what I'm trying to say is if I know I can do that and I'm doing that on a monthly basis, am I going to fee, like let's say I'm the actual exchange, I'm going to build it in a way where literally I can sit there and say, okay, I want to keep these guys happy and fed and still keep going through and taking these options. This is what I was saying about the financialization of stable coins in relationship to when we start to look at a lot of these large corporate entities, right? One of the ways that they're going to use to keep their coin at parity with the dollar is literally with options. That's how I would do it. That's the best way to do it, because if I put a cover call, which means I expect the market to stay above a certain point, a covered pull, if I'm selling a put, I want the market to stay above a certain area for a month so I can make money. And so if I need to somehow come in and actually buy, let's say I see a depegging on a stable coin that I'm invested in and I'm worth $100 million. one of the things I can do is go through and actually buy the actual coin itself, right? And so I then help let's say I've got a $50 million position in that cover call, okay? And yes, that financial or that industry is going through, not industry, that exchange is sitting there and facilitating my trade, okay? I want to, if I'm that exchange, I want to keep that guy who has those positions happy, so he keeps doing that position. So if anybody knows what a iron condor is or whatever, right? It is a strategy that can pay you on a monthly basis multiple ways, or you can do a straddle, a straddle on an which is an option play. It's a strategy. Or you sit there, you go long on one area and short on the other. And because you have a finite small area, you can gauge most likely that the market's going to stay between here and here. And I can do a cover, I can do an option strategy to pay me on a monthly basis. And so that's what's going to come out of these. And if I'm that stable coin holder, let's say I'm Amazon stable coin, well, that's a way for me to receive income, to keep my actual position happy, and I get paid by everybody else. In addition to, this is what I meant by the financialization of stable coins, that it is then also supports and backs the US dollar. Again, I'm going to be able to sit there, take these positions, buy US Treasury and other assets that will actually back up that stable coin, which is what you want. This is what I mean. So anyhow, there was a banking entity that went through, shorted the stable coin USDT. USDT dropped hard, and then they took it off, let it rebound. Then they took that money and shorted Luna. Luna then dropped, and then once they stabilized that, then they jumped right back into shorting the stable coin and dropped it again. You can see in the original I forget what it's called. In the original chart, that's the word I want to use. The original chart, you can see USDT and Luna doing this. They basically were seesawing, as it was basically just going down like this. It's actually what happened. There was a few banks that actually did it.
Yeah, see, there's that sawtooth pattern. Sawing the magician sawing the girl in half. Sawing your money in half.
So it's real interesting. Anyways, that's about it in a nutshell. Let's check out here real quick a few other stuff. What are we gonna do? Tuesday we're gonna go over the rest of the stuff for the new month. Let's check out our meme coin. That's what I was doing. Sorry about that. I kind of got distracted.
It's all right. I was just paying for the oil change in my car, so I could go pick it up here. And even that is suffering from massive inflation.
Yeah, it's like a couple $100 now. I'm like, what? Farcoin fell off the freaking cliff here. I mean, bad. It is dropped. Look at this past month. Just drop. Boom. Came in. I thought we were gonna see it hit that 190 before we saw the drop. Now this thing just said bloop. Look at that. Came in from the previous week, went up. I think we went down, up, then down again. So and then this week so far, look at it, just fell. The only cool thing about this is that we have no real demand wick or no supply wick here, so it's going to be easier to pull up. The Farcoin is moving. Actually, the month it looks like it's rebounding a little. That's not good, right? Because if it goes up first thing of the month, we'll see it come down at the end of the month. But ultimately, you can see here though that there's not a lot of sellers. I mean, yes, there's a lot of sellers, but not a lot of seller weights. So it will easily, looks like it could climb all the way back up into that 190, 181 area for Farcoin, for Fartcoin. So real interesting. It's at 999 million market cap. What's the liquidity with it? Liquidity 20 million. So somebody could take out 20 million if they wanted to, if they had the position.
They could rug that thing right down to zero if they had that job, that position.
Literally, imagine you being.
Imagine that candle. That was like the Squid Grow candle. That remember the video of the dude watching it? So he's all right, it's all going good. Squid Grow, woo woo woo, and he's like, no.
Everybody said he was the one who hit the button because they were self-analyzing it and they were watching his muscles in his hands. Do you think he was the one who did it or no?
I don't know. He could have done it. I remember that same story too, but still, regardless, it was an epic video. You know, a natural, whether it was fake or natural, whatever, but the reaction was awesome. And you're just like, I can't believe they caught that on screen and it went to zero. Hey, Pedro, I just got an email from Rumble saying, welcome to the August creator program. They called it the August round. They're trying to eliminate people by increasing the requirements and keeping the bots and AI channels out that just farm viewers. They want actual interaction and people talking like us. What they added is that a real live person has to read at least 5 approved host reads. The ads that I read. And we do 2 or 3 a day, you know, so we got that. So we're in it to win it for August. And there's a lot of these people that don't focus, like Rumble is just a side stream for them. Their main channel is YouTube. And so they don't get those creator ads. They don't meet the creator program because they don't use the Rumble Studio to broadcast. And thus, I think we're going to rise to the top here again.
At the peak, man, I hope so. I hope, you know, my biggest hope is that they really start to put shows before a bunch of people, and if they can get, you know, like we've gotten Brando Commando and a bunch of, you know, we've got 4 or 5 other people that interact with us all the time, and literally just came from just the viewership of just posting us on the main page, not the main page, but on the crypto page. So shout out to everyone, you guys who do watch us. We really appreciate it.
Which I might add, if you are interested in crypto and that their algorithm sees that you view crypto videos, your homepage, everyone's homepage on social media platforms is different. Your homepage does have the crypto category, which shows us when we're live.
Let's talk about
That's the way. I like it. That's the way. Cyan on the SEI blockchain, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I have not looked for an ad lately. Oh, yeah, speaking of, Pedro, I don't have a lot of time left. I know we started late, but I can't go the normal 2 hours today.
Okay, that's cool.
Tomorrow I'm driving back to the Northern Bureau of DYOR Media, and that would be in Ottawa, Ontario. Actually, I'm just going to Toronto, and Sunday I'm playing a little golf with my father-in-law, Humphrey. Then driving back to Ottawa after that. But thank you to everyone I said this earlier, and Brando Commando said you're welcome. But thank you to everybody that helped us get in the creator program, because it will just lead to some fat riches for Pedro and I. 10 and 12 cents at a time. But I gotta tell you, it's adding up, and percentages are what count, Pedro. It's just like the old adage, if you can just make 1% a day trading. If you can just make 1% every day, and every trader can make 1% every, just one. You got $100. All you gotta do is make $1. You got $101. You just need to make $1.10. You can get $102. All you need to make is $2. Can you make $2? Of course you can. And in 2 months, you'll have $1 million. Simple, right?
Well, here's the thing. I don't even look at the million. Just say if you could have $100,000 in 6 months, it's not a bad day. The problem is people want those home runs, they want that huge dopamine hit every single day, and you don't need it.
No, they want the new rice burner with the hot turbo motor in it. That's what they want. They're like, if I wait till December, the car racing through the intersections will be over. Never understood those people. Never understood. I'm sure some of our viewers are like, "Man, I got a super that goes pop, 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 pop." I saw a guy the other day with a really expensive Mercedes AMG, and I heard it sounded differently, and all of a sudden it's gone pop, 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 pop. I'm like, "Oh, you're so cool! You can throw extra gasoline into your catalytic converter and muffler and make it explode. Wow, you are cool."
Oh, it is kind of. What are you talking about? Why you, dude?
It is not cool for a car to go pop, 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 pop. Especially when they do it and they drive by you, walking on the sidewalk and do it and scare people. Yeah. Especially scare your woman. I was walking with Mrs. Striking in Ottawa, and some butt munch did that.
You sound like.
And I always had my bag, and I just turned around and gave it to her, and started opening my shirt and getting ready to pull it off, and walking up to the car. We stopped at the light, and they were like, "Oh, f this," and right through the light. I was like,
kids, man. I was like, kids are gonna be kids.
F around and find out.
I don't know, man. I look at that like kids are gonna be kids, dude. I mean, look, there's a reason why you're 20. And there's plenty of 20-year-olds and not as many 30-year-olds and not as many as 40-year-olds.
And kids like that need to learn their lessons. And to scare a woman like that to the point where she screams and has like a heart attack and dies and wants to kill them themselves, I'll be like, "I'll take care of it, honey." Because in Canada, none of those idiots are carrying guns, so you can go up and give them some business. And it's not like in the U.S. you're like, whatever. I don't think that guy's probably strapped. I'm not going there.
All right, let's move forward here. Real quick, let's talk about Cyan. Cyan here, real quick, is coming.
I'm gonna hit the head here. I'll be right back.
All right, so Cyan here is selling off. I was expecting it to continue up again, but I mean, a lot of these meme coins we're seeing it pull back. If you lost money here, again, these were a lot of plays that I said only put $10 in, right? $5 to $10 in. They're small cap, and we wanted to see them go up. So I said, I'm looking to see if we can get one or two of these to really send hard, right? And so right now we're just like mitigating that $5 or $10 play. That's what I was doing, looking to play. So you can see here that these levels, this area right here, that 2 million, this could be a potential play. So you can catch Cyan if you can play it on Mexi. This would be a good little place of liquidity pool where you watch for it to come down, hit, and then see it go back up, and you take a 1-to-1 ratio, which I've gone over multiple times. Let's check out Ponky. What was interesting about Ponky is that Ponky, when it came through, I thought we were going to see it continue up, right? We came down, hit this area of liquidity, started to go up, started seeing volume kind of pick up from here, as you can see, but it did not get above that 8-period moving average. And that was really the one thing that it needed to do, is stay above that 8-period. And if you look at the monthly, you can see here, it just hit that monthly, came down. Now, what's interesting though, is this is on a monthly standpoint. We're seeing it come down first, which is a lot of these coins. So one of the things I always say, right, is if it hits the, if it comes down to the beginning of the month, expect it to go up at the end of the month. So we pierced this a few times. So I expect to see Ponky potentially really kind of get back up to that 105, 110 mil. And then from there, see it pull back a little and then get up potentially to that 218 million that I was talking about prior. Just simply because we've already crushed the 8-period moving average. So this month we're probably going to climb above it and then see it get above. So basically it's going to crush the 8, see it climb up and go up. What I'm looking at is a potential liquidity pull that it's going to try to
I'm crushing your head. I'm crushing it. I'm crushing your head. Look, I can see you. I'm crushing your head. How many youngsters know that one? Come on, you Canadians out there. You should know this one. I'm crushing your head. I'm crushing. Nobody's home. Come on, you Canadians.
Alrighty. Dude, you sound like an old man right now. You need to stop. I'm gonna start calling you Ung from now on. Have you seen this?
That was a 1980s reference there, I might add.
Yes. This
The Ponky community is very large. Our friend Zach Humphreys participates in that community.
Yes. Also, the David
61 million market cap down at this lower level was up there pretty good there.
Yeah, it was. It did get
Pretty good.
I said I needed to get above that 8, but it didn't get above the 8 period of last month. So again, you got a couple areas that we could take liquidity pulls off of. That 40 or that 50 million is going to be an area where we should see a bounce and then go back up. So you could play this on MEXC or something if you have access to. And then we have another zone right here, which is basically that 36 million to 29 million area. So I'd expect to see us come down to that area here and then see it continue up. Something that looked like this. Boom. 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 Nice little W. I'm up right there.
Hey, we got a new commenter here. James Salister, when you hear a Countach, it's like beep, pure V12 engine. These new POS sports cars are all straight pop exhaust. Terrible. I can only agree with you. My cousin is the Lamborghini dealer in Beverly Hills, and those Lambos, they sound so smooth, and they don't go pop 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 pop, wee nee 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 boo 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 boo. They go nothing but awesomeness. Actually, that I just made the Ferrari sound. The Lamborghini sounds a little different, but nothing but awesome. Thanks for watching, Mr. Salister. There, how'd you find us? We're always appreciative of viewers. Make sure you subscribe and like. It really helps us out over on that YouTube. If you are a member of Rumble, come watch us on Rumble too, because that's our primary channel. We're just simulcasting onto YouTube. But appreciate it.
Absolutely. When did he just post? A few minutes ago?
Just now. Yeah, when we were talking about cars.
Nice. Well, glad to have you, man. Good to have you. James, if you have any questions or something like that you want us to go look at, let us know. Love to go over things that you want us to look at. My comment machine which grabs the YouTube feed from the API or the comments has a word filter on it, and he says when you hear a Countach or a Lambo, it's like porn. Now, that's a gray area because there is some porn, but that is not so proper. That makes some very bad noises. I would say you could say the word corn,
or you could say nay. Another girl got arrested for that.
What happened?
How these influencers keep getting arrested for trying to get views. There's always some psycho girl that does it with some animal, but it's love.
She did it with it. Oh my goodness.
I mean, you think they're fake articles, and then they're all over TMZ and stuff, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, like it's real. Like
this is Friday. This is the entertainment you guys get. We're talking about horse porn.
Yeah.
I meant for the algorithm. I meant sorry, I got that incorrect. I meant horned horses.
Yes. That's crazy. I don't even understand that, man. I don't get it. I had an ex who kind of was into that. And I was like, what? No. I'm like, no. She's like, ooh.
All right, moving on.
Anyways, yeah. Next. Okay. So let's check out MLG, Major League Gaming. Major League Gaming actually played really interesting this week. It really picked up pretty hard. They had a really big buy, and then we saw it hit that 200 period moving average and just get rejected. So it was actually really interesting to me to sit there and see it. But the fact that they climbed up there and you saw the sell-off come in. Now again, their all-time high was sitting, I think, what was it, like 300 million or 250 mil. So what was interesting here is that this area here is that when I started seeing it go up, I was like, okay, there we go, right? I thought it was going to push through because we saw so much volume. But the drop off here. But what's nice is that as we're watching this, it's kind of having a doji here. If this thing goes down, hits this lower level here, that 7 million, I think I'm going to throw in another $5 or $10 to see what happens here. Because again, we could see this thing get up and go. It has a huge community online. So this is why I'm kind of looking at that 250,000 area. It was, or 250 million area. It could surpass that and really get going. So that's why I'm looking at that right there. What's the other one? The unicorn fart dust. No, what's while I'm here, I'll go over it.
Unicorn fart dust.
Yeah, this one. What its all-time high was like 450 million. It's crazy. It's in at 39 million right now. This is playing. It was trying to get above again that monthly moving average. It got held, but again, the biggest thing to pay attention to is that it closed green. You can see it closed green with a fairly decent supply wick, but not too much. And the fact that it's coming down first into the first of the month tells you that it's most likely going to come down and then to go up. So what are good areas here? You could potentially pick up UFD, which would be about right here. I like this right here. Boom. Second, someone just hit me up.
Doesn't look like the segment sponsorship is going to have any more juice in it for this show. Oh, sorry. I spoke too soon, Pedro, and I'm going to let you fix that while I make us the big bucks.
Do it. Make that money. While Tom is getting that all taken care of.
I'm starting it right now here. Are you ready to level up your game? AIM Controllers is where custom meets unbeatable value. And right now, it's the best deal of the year. We start with official Sony and Xbox controllers fully compatible with PC function with no. I'm gonna read that again. We start with official Sony and Xbox controllers fully compatible with console and your PC. No functionality lost. Then you go wild with custom features, smart bumpers, paddles, grips, stick height, custom buttons, even design your own PSS snap panels. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Your own PS5 snap panels. See, whenever I read something wrong, I have to repeat myself. And here's the part that no one else is doing. Lifetime warranty on all modified parts. That's amazing. That's right, because it's lifetime. What other company does that? I'll wait. Exactly. Normally, a fully loaded setup would run you $400, but during our one price promo, it's just 209 USD or 182 euros. No matter how many features you add. Use code RUMBLE at checkout and lock it in. This is your sign. Go to aimcontrollers.com and build the last controller you'll ever need. QR code right next to me here, ladies and gentlemen. There's also a comment in the chat with learn more. Please do it. Show our sponsors and our segment sponsors here are valuable to us and that you're interested in their product. Go check them out. Anyway, thanks to aimcontrollers.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right, Pedro.
Speaking of UFD here, you can see here that 32 million is kind of what I'm expecting. I could see it come down to this level here and then see it kind of turn around. That'd be a decent demand wick for the monthly chart. So you can see it come down, be about halfway into the body, and then see it continue at least up to that 75 million. So that would potentially could be a 2x there. And if this thing gets wings, you could see it really get up to that high of that 421 mil. So nice little area here.
So if a unicorn gets wings, then we have a flying unicorn fart dust.
Or it would be called Pegasus.
A Pegasus unicorn.
Yes. Right. Is it right? Pegasus used to be the flying horse.
Right, but I'm adding the fart dust and the horn sticking out of its head too, so that's a little extra. You get bonus mythological creatures. Everyone, hey, a bunch of people just joined us on Rumble. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. This is you're coming into the end of DYOR Live here. Do Your Own Research Live. We are a live show, not recorded like these other bozos out here. And we're interactive. Please ask questions. Join up. Follow us. Get notified when we're on. We're an interactive show here on Rumble. And on if you're watching on YouTube, we are too. Monitor the comments over there. But come visit us on Rumble. Remember, you don't have to... Well, we want you to use the button to become a premium member here because it helps us out. But really what we want you to do is just register a free account. And even if you have it on your smart TV and you just watch us on the TV, open up your phone and go to rumble.com and create an account and log in. You can use your Google login, your Facebook login, and a couple other ones too, or use your email, whatever. And create an account and like us and follow us. And it's not because we're like, oh, we get more likes and more followers. It tells Rumble that new people are coming on and enjoying the show, and that's what helps us out. So thank you, new people, for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And quiz the man in the box above me too. Make sure you do that.
Yeah, I have no problem. I like looking at charts. I'm kind of good at it, and quiz me. Let me, if you think you're a good trader, let me know. Oh, that got really loud real quick. All right, so next thing I want to go.
Sorry, I was trying to irritate you there. It worked.
Yes. All right, so you can see here that KWIF. I talked about it coming down first. It was playing. I thought we were actually going to push through this one here, through the monthly 8 here. But it's interesting that it basically it's shot right below. It shot all the way up to my area here, and then just sold off. And it came below the 8 period moving average. And I'm like, what? How is that possible?
What are you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis? But the good thing behind it is that we're seeing it go down first. So KWIF, we could see a bit of a push here above. Here's a liquidity area that from last month that we can see it come down to, which is roughly sitting around that $134,000 area. So if this thing really starts to catch again, this would probably be the area that you want to be looking to kind of get in on at this lower level as it stops and then moves back up. You also have this lower level here, which is that 53,000 area. I don't think it'll go down there, but if it does, and you're looking again, you're taking $10. You're not spending too much. I'm putting $10, $12. These are long shots, right? Like if this thing hits 100 million, right? We're talking that $10.
About an 8x from here.
100 million? No.
Oh, 100 million. I thought you said 1 million. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
It would be
100 million.
It would be 80x.
Yeah. So Ken with how
800x.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Kent with Hat was one of those ones that just has the lore behind it. It was the first real pump fund coin that was launched from Elon. There's just a lot of stuff that correlates here, so there's still a lot of holders. It never really caught wings, but I just don't see it going away. This will probably be a coin that might come back 5 years from now, and so if you get it, I just don't know. That's why you don't intend.
You are fake news.
It's not coming back. Pump funds going away. It's just. If I was that dude Elon, I wouldn't even care anymore. I don't know what the Jupiter? No, that's.
No, it's like.
I don't know what the new Radium one is. I can't remember. Radium swap or something.
Yeah, something like that. We'll figure it out.
If I was Elon, not Elon from Pump Fund, he made lots of money here. He'd make lots of money. I would tone down the spending, and just go buy big fat joint on the Intercoastal in Fort Lauderdale or an island somewhere. Nah, he's young. You can't buy an island when you're young. Otherwise, you just get into drugs and inviting rich people over on your plane to bring little girls in. Oh wait, too soon? Too soon?
Too soon?
Too soon? Too soon?
It's dude.
Who knew? Too soon.
Dude, I heard this other stuff this conspiracy stuff that comes along with this, bro, is absolutely insane, dude. Anyways, let's jump off. Let's finish off these meme coins here, and then we'll do Monday. We'll go over blockchains and the new blockchains out there that have gotten a lot of volume come in. So let's check.
Monday will be Blockchain Bonanza Day again.
Monday blockchain bonanza.
Yeah, I heard there's a new hot blockchain coming out soon here, really.
Me too. I heard one too. Well, I hear it kind of came out, but then it's kind of quiet right now, so we'll see what's up. But you can see here.
Stealth mode.
All right, so you can see here at that 134,000 area here, we can see it come down. That should act as a support level. Again, like you're not throwing in everything. Like I'm throwing like $10 in. Like I spend $20 on a meal. So like if I go out to eat, right? So it's just like $10 is barely anything. But if that $10 catches, you leave that moon bag in, it does a 10x, or excuse me, not 10x. It does like 1,000x. Well, it's well spent on that. Right? There's a nice little $10,000 off of 1,000. And the thing is I'm not just sitting there doing with any coin out there. This is a coin that has a big community. There's a lot of people behind it, and so it could get it going. All right, let's check out here real quick. The last one here, and right. Russ Slimer, yes, little purple. Oh, we already went over this one, right?
Yep.
No, not Slimer. No, we went over purple, not Slimer, which I thought was really interesting. Slimer.
Which one you got up there?
So this is Slimer. Yeah. So Slimer went from basically 11,000 all the way up to about 5 million market cap. And the part that's so crazy is the liquidity behind it. Like it has 551. So right now it's 551,000 market cap. Okay. And what I find so interesting is that it has $141,000 in liquidity, which is basically almost like a 20%. Which very rarely do you actually see that, right? So for me, I'm sitting there going at this going, this should get up and go. I mean, if I look at it, if this thing gets up, it could get all the way up to that 5 million. So that 551,000, that's a 10x. And so there's some big advertising guys here that are in crypto that are pushing this. So that's one of the ones I keep on my radar. See if this really gets going. The Nero was another one that just went huge. This one here, its all-time high was 1.3 billion, and right now it's in about that 162. Last month we saw it try to get above the 8-period moving average, but the nice thing is it finished green and it's coming down first. So if we get below this little liquidity point right here at the 129 million market cap, that should act as a liquidity pool where we should see it then continue up, at least go retest that 470 million. Remember, as I always say, 1-to-1 ratio, take off a good amount so that you can always go in and buy in with, or either buy in or leave a moon back. Again, these are small plays. You're not throwing in everything in it. You're not throwing in your life savings. You're not selling your left kidney to buy your coins here. This is less than what you would pay for a meal. All right, that's in a nutshell for that. I went over a lot of meme coins today just simply because I wanted to kind of go over some of the stuff that we've been looking at. We didn't go over everything, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything you guys want me to look at, please leave a message in the comment section so I can go over, and you can leave contracts. Like if you want me to go look at ones that have contracts, leave a contract in the actual comment there, and we can go, when I can pull it up, Tom will see it and we'll be like, yay, let's go. Whoop, 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 whoop. So, all right, that's about it for me. I know you got to go, so.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just, why isn't my thing connecting here?
Oh, our connection?
No, my Stream Deck just decided, it says, hey, I don't want to talk to your broadcast software anymore.
Oh, so that means we can't close down.
No, it means that no. It means my Stream Deck just does the graphics machine and the scenes and all that. It means I have to do it manually by pressing buttons on the keyboard or the mouse instead of just going beep beep, click 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 click. Let's see if that one works. No, that's not working either. Oh, it did work. All right, Pedro, we had a good week here. Finished strong and with July with Rumble. We made some good monies reading ads here. Today was another great day. It was about 50 cents, but it's up. The other day was 31 cents. So
there we go. Moving it. We are moving. We are moving the decimal. Next, we're gonna be making $2 a day, $3 a day.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are just listening in your headphones, you gotta appreciate the song. It's got some wicked bass in it. If you got it hook your sound up, crank that bass up, and this song gets grooving. Got these bone conductor headphones don't really do it justice for bass. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we had a good week here. Thank you very much for all of you viewers, all of you Rumble ranters. We had a bunch of people donate via the Rumble rant feature. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And because that helps Patreon out. Certainly does. As I say, everything that people donate just helps us make our show that much better and helps us get to Ibiza fast so we can just spend it all on hookers and booze. Imagine the drink and the hooker we could get for the total dollar value of this thing has earned us.
What is it?
I mean, it would be a little troll drinking ouzo. That's your hookers and booze. Anyway, to everyone out there, Crypto Mike, Space Cat, Kaching, James Salister, Carmen Crypto, Fire Chicken, Brando Commando, Crypto Unicorn, Dr. Fire Chicken, Chuck Jansen, Connect Me, NHM Connect, Striking, that's me, Pedro Garcia. Thank you very much. As always, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. So glad to have hosted another episode of this great award-winning show. We'll be here next week, so be there.
Yeah, be there, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon.